Equally, PPF will struggle to have one.
You will struggle to have a candidate almost in the whole of Western
Uganda.
What I'm saying,
that's a different matter. So where you are seeing
the areas where you are, the areas where you're not, and others.
Where you are seeing
celebrate that.
Where you are seeing attraction, so many people coming to compete for a ticket of Nup should be celebrated as a success. Why do you want to call it a failure?
You seem to be having a good laugh. Last week it was
subversive. The way we no longer consider UPC such a serious threat. So the opposition group that is not as dangerous, because I don't consider PFF any longer. It's the people in the PFF. I don't consider them any longer that dangerous and subversive. The way we no longer consider UPC such a serious threat.
So Nup is the force that you must now decimate.
Any serious person, yes, should be able to. Now,
but
my brother Kena.
But I
would even pray that if prayers work, I would even pray that he increases his numbers, because he is now amiable to the NRM direction.
Thank you. Honorable Kena.
No, let me first
I'll give you a minute.
Yes. But you stay in Mukono, is that so? And a lot of these friends here stay either in around cosmopolitan Kampala, Wachiso Mukono. For heaven's sake, from the villages where you are staying, are you seeing any movement of supporters?
No, of course, that's what I said.
That's why I want to tell you. Because you start around here.
In my Mukono district,
yes.
In my Toro, where I come from, I don't see movement of PFF. I don't see a movement of UPC there.
Yes.
I don't see FDC perhaps, but I see a sprinkle of Nup. At least I can say a poster in Toro roundabout, a poster of a Nup parliamentary candidate and a presidential candidate. As I drive along the way, I see the sprinkles of Nup. So yes, I agree with you, there's no PFF.
No, so that's what I'm saying.
And there's no DA.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I want you to separate the behavior of a political elites in Uganda. All of us, we tend to be generally opportunistic and self-centered.
With the exception of, not all.
And I'm saying generally, and I'm being general. Even if Museveni, you told Museveni you are no longer president or chairman of NRM, he will form another political party.
Oh, okay.
Even Akena is no longer president of UPC. He will form UPC.
Thank you. Honorable Jim Akena, when you see all these fissures emerging within...
Honorable Akena is in bed with the...
We are in... Do you see... subversive to the NRM behavior. Jumped on it. The questionable behavior of political elites.
Nenga Muwanga tenawa kugusa nsongo ulide. Ssemuju asose kujerega kibiina kya National Platform. Mbuteina cheri era bwogendeyo mu byalo tewali agimanyi, tewali gye bagimanyi NUP. Mbu PFF FP bajita bate yabwe PFF yabwe yasimu alo mbu yo yamanyi yeyo mu byalo kati babuuza omuntu w'omu kyalo atubuulire ye eyo mu kyalo alabayo ki wuuyo mu kyalo agambye ye kyalaba mu kyalo alaba ya statistic ya FDC katinitini naye Nup olaba nga yo gyeri mu byalo naye PFF ne DFCU tewaliwo obiraba. Ssemuju abuza amaze okubulira mu ttaka abadde agirega Nup mbu mu Nup temugenda funa omuntu n'omweyo mu byalo tewali n'omu kansala wadde tewali wadde OMP wadde gwe muyinayo wadde nga Fraka Bella mu byalo. Omusajja n'amukubake ona mugamba Nup gyeri naye mmwe temuyinawe muli koona embaga amatutambule
vis-a-vis a national cause. Right now, what should have been a dominant discussion 5 months. When is the elections? January? January, we are in September. You hardly have 4 months. But there's no discussion of any policy disagreement. No picture of a common Ugandan in the whole of this discussion. Across the when I saw the NRM gather,
because parties are not carrying that discussion in that direction.
That's why I said, that's why deliberately I told you that elections are subversive. That's why I said elections are subversive to the growth and the interest of Uganda.
Is bribery in your party inconsequential?
Njala, don't be so sentimental.
No, I'm not being sentimental. I'm being realistic.
Can I tell you?
You've had complaints of bribery.
Can I ask you, bribery, prove it. These are challenges everywhere. The giver and the one you give has an issue. Those who allege that their money were taken, why did they give it? I'm asking. The one who says, I bribed. You see, don't be so emotional.
No, I'm not being emotional. But this is very painful that a party the country looked up to as an alternative is being engrossed. We need to have a process that is above board. That's a given. Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
The party needs to have a process that is above board.
Was this problematic this time?
That there are those elements as an institution, we investigate them. We set up a whole board of appeal to hear those cases. Even when the party went through the process, said, okay, we can't conclude it. Let's create an avenue for appeal. And a lot of issues have, because electoral area have been appealed and results changed. We are at that level.
Okay.
But also, we operate in a given political environment that is not dictated by us. We are not about, we are in, do you know what is called Myunden? Ask him. Myunden, vis-a-vis spiritual. We are not a spiritual movement. We are a Myunden movement. We live on earth. What has happened? Let me ask you. All of these people who says they don't agree. Yes. Ssemuju knows that the day you open the FDC to legitimate open political competition is when Museveni arrived at your top table. No, this is the reality. The day we opened the DP, the day we opened the DP to what is called a legitimate election, that's when Museveni arrived. And today you are now in a new political formation away from FDC that you know Museveni is on your dining table.
The very things that you used to accuse Honorable Muwanga, the very things that you used to accuse listen. Yes. The very things that you used to accuse have come to haunt you now. Favoritism, you see, bribery.
Those are your words. A political movement today that legitimately wants to oppose Museveni must acknowledge certain realities. And he has been very clear. Is that one, Museveni uses voter bribery, the whole trinity of NRM. It is vote rigging, bribery, and intimidation. Those are key things in his election.
But I think you're running away from your own problems.
No, and we are not running away. It's simply unlike you, who is an
what characterized your election, your processes was fraud.
Now, the difference between you and us is that for us, we are in the deep end of a swimming pool. For you, you own some katebe somewhere. Okay? And you have the liberty to reason the way you reason.
Honorable Ssemuju, come in.
I think the opposition political parties, I have told you in PFF, even when you read our constitution, there is consensus building, there is vetting, and then you can appeal to the committee of eminent persons. Our processes as they are in our constitutions are not different from what Muwanga Kivumbi has. I disagree with those processes. We cannot hide because there is security, there is interference. It means you must tighten your own processes, but there must be processes. If I am a candidate, I must, because you see, I don't want us to exploit the vulnerability of people and then say, why did you come to me? Then you have no reason to blame NRM for exploiting vulnerability of citizens. So political parties as institutions must establish processes. I was in Tanzania. Tanzania will have general elections, and I think they choose direct constituency MPs and presidential at the same day, and then they have seats for affirmative action. That's how they choose the women who are in parliament. I spoke to those who are in Chadema, female MPs, and they tell me in Chama cha Mapinduzi, you cannot go through if you're not a mistress of one of the people. Or
is that what is in no?
I'm talking about Tanzania. I'm talking about Tanzania. They told me Chadema, which is an opposition.
You can't be a leader in CCM. Can
you allow me? I'm going to lose this point, which is a good point. They told me in Chadema, they have established criteria, published them. Before you subject yourself to a process, you will know if you are of this academic qualification, you have these points. If you have served the party for this period of time, you have these points. If you do this, by the time you go to Chadema to seek endorsement, if you are 3, you will know Fonopono has beaten him even before the process has started. So the women, credible women, are no longer going to parliament through the ruling party. They want to go through Chadema. At least have criteria. Even if you're going to have vetting, that vetting must be based on established criteria. So that, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about something that I know.
Are you implementing that in PFF?
I have told you I don't agree with what you are doing now, but
that's why the man is Secretary General is the spokesperson.
Muwanga Kivumbi, you want to speak and parade yourself as if you are very big. Let me tell you, the day the results are published of how many councillors you have fielded, of how many chairpersons, you will shrink. And I don't want you to come here and pretend that PFF is small for you or big. You are judging yourself against yourself. The day you judge yourself against the established position in Uganda, you will not come back to this show. So stop parading yourself as if you are big. For me, the point...
Omusajja nga munyiivu. Bana bantu bawadana Nup. Katika Mugambe Ssemuju Nganda. The day when results will come out, Ngaiwa ceased to be the member of parliament of Chila municipality. Ngaiwa jobless is the day you will slink. Is the day you will stop talking that rubbish and nonsense. Manyiwa no wafala beyita Abade. Mbu established political parties. PFF yali established wa. Jimata nekolana kweza mwezi mbu yali established. Nga twalina bajiwagira no okujjako yene lukwaga abalimu. Bokka babiri ebalimu bwe bati. Atenga bawedde baluwedde ku mpagala. Ali ku Nup ajijobojezaako. Nup jolaba is just developing. Washitegedde. Era tulabanga bakiri mu lutu bafulumya mu mukola nabo. Bano be bayawulamu FDC bano. Be bayona FDC. Nanda yakwata obukadde 3 n'abuwakiza Besigye waka n'abutereka nga ziriko ebisabo biriko Bank of Uganda. Besigye n'atabuuza nino zivudde abantu baniko kuli omusimbi. Abantu bamala kubigwamu ne balyoka bavayo ne bekangabeza nti bannaye Nanda aleta ssente fesi tubirimu ne beeyawulayo. Okitegedde nga balaba bafudde politically bafudde kati bo ne baagala okweraga no bo basenti naye nga basooka zitereka mwene upya ne yaleterese ku ssente z'obubbi. Eyazibba bamufulumizawo nga lumu gye tumanyi tali osoma yatandikawo Mutise Dugge. Kati Ssemuju Nganda bannaye balumwa Nup. Naye ne bali batansibya lukwago nga bakuba bakansala nga babeera kansala Nup ababaga bannakivubo basobole okwonona Nup. Olidde mbu lwe munaabanga temufunye bakansala be mufulontinze lwogenda okukkakana kubanga abadde balina omulamwa okukuba bakansala Nup nemekumonga nteina bakansala. Ati bubalina bakansala batwana batwagala bukulembeze bwa ggwanga. Kale bana basajja badongo bonna ujjo twafadda.
And I want to look at the principles, please. If the Constitution and the Political Parties and Organizations Act say
one takes care of your academic qualification and you get a score. Okay? They ask you about a party ideology. They ask you a number of questions. And on each question, by the questionnaire is even known.
Is it out in the public realm?
It's known. If you want, it's even in they ask you how educated are you,
website.
How long have you been a party member, ask you about party ideology. Then secondly, they do one which is controversial is what they call the ground survey. And I can tell you, Honorable Ssemuju, for all the weaknesses in NUP, I tell you, and you know, Eddie Awe wanted to stand in Ichira, and is a brother of Bobby Wayne. In Ichira, your own constituency. The ground survey brought a different candidate. Eddie Awe was dropped.
So you conducted the survey before you expressed interest?
No.
That's quite
No. Don't get me wrong.
Did you express interest?
Not in this election. I'm speaking about last election. We are the party, we are the Nachifuma. For all intent, and I can tell you this, there was this presenter, Patrick Omujuko, very close to Bobby. Ground survey brought a one symbol, unknown very well in the political stuff, as a leading candidate. He's the one who really took over.
Yeah, but do you agree there is a lot of opaqueness in the ground survey?
So that is the science that makes us stick.
So ISO did not infiltrate the
that is the science that makes us stick. That is the science that makes us stick.
Do you find their process quite admirable?
This is a product
Muwanga says
of a bungled exercise by
their ambiguity is what makes them tick.
No. Yes. I can
I will not fall for that.
As an MC.
No, thank you.
I know you want to see any
was there a NUP in 2016?
No.
You're not giving us.
No,
I asked a very simple.
Is born.
Why do you find the report on a commission of inquiry that was instituted to probe allegations of bribery and sex?
Simon, as a friend, when you come with a particular issue and you lose a cause, you don't persist on it. You came here to make a point, to portray NUP as a party full of favoritism, full of bribery, corruption. You've lost it. Since we started.
Was there an inquiry established?
And you keep coming.
No, was there an inquiry established?
You keep coming and coming and coming and coming. One, NUP doesn't work in an OSIS. It's part and parcel of what he has described, Nganda Abade politique. And he has described it well, that all these young people in NUP, the only thing they've known is Museveni and NRM.
And his dark arts.
And the dark arts. Now, you, as not a realist, want us to operate without that reality. We must navigate through and bring change, aware of the dark arts of NRM. Now, if you want us to behave so naive, to behave normally in an abnormal situation, then we're abnormal.
No, but I think you're not answering the question.
I'm answering your question.
Where is the report on investigations into sex and money?
I'm answering a report. At least there was an investigation.
Yes.
Now,
and what did it reveal?
No. Is this the forum?
Yes, it is.
Unless you are subversive.
No.
Yes.
No is accountable.
No. What I'm saying, unless you're also part of the dark art of Museveni.
No. Why?
Because
why do you find it troubling? Why do you find it troubling? Why do you find it troubling to lay on the table?
Njala, what interest do you have in painting NUP that level? Because you are also becoming an agent.
Why?
You are becoming an agent simply because It's your own interest, as Akena said.
No, look.
No,
it was a public pronouncement from your principal that a commission.
As a man of good heart,
yes,
have a good will to every institution that is born. It's not it does not give you any credit
Muwanga,
to use the platform. To use the platform. No. I'm also
without answering.
No, I'm putting on the cross. Don't use your privileged position of being a host of platform to paint a legitimate political party.
Muwanga, I asked a very innocent question.
You are also part of the of a deeper state. Then
I think that is escapism now. Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi, I asked a very simple question.
No, I'm also asking you. What I'm asking you, as a man of a good will and good heart, who wishes Uganda well, who wishes political party well, what benefits do you get in persisting on that line?
Leonard, because is it important for the country to interrogate?
You are also part of the dark of the deeper state.
No, I think you're just being paranoid.
No, I'm not being paranoid.
You're just being paranoid.
Because you've come back on
I'm afraid. Yes, it's very important.
It's as if it's what brought you here.
You are not giving us
because
answers.
As if it's what
you?
Njala.
You're not giving us answers. You're simply
Let me also be personal to you. Because Njala,
to the point.
I know you were at one time disappointed with the no. Because you have ever thought it's card. And you failed. Don't use that opportunity here to vent your
I have never sought a card from
you did.
That's for the record.
You are my friend. I know what you are doing.
Never.
And you don't use that frustration.
Let that go.
You've been a parliamentary candidate and failed, and Nup defeated you. And you want to use that opportunity? Yes. Yes.
No.
You don't see any Busiro.
I think you don't have history.
No, you don't see any Busiro.
Was there a Nup in 2016? No, was there a Nup in 2016?
No, what I'm saying.
Okay, I lost.
Don't use that
was it Nup?
Because you have never been there.
No, that's blackmail.
I know you even went to Masaka.
Let's get on the record.
You even went to Masaka.
You instituted a probe.
You even went to Masaka.
No way. I will not fall for that blackmail.
As an MC.
No,
so I know your wife's.
I will not fall for that blackmail.
No, what I'm saying. You went to Masaka.
No way.
This gentleman here, you have to be a neutral arbiter.
No.
You went to Masaka as an MC.
Wow. Webamita Muwanga Kivumbi. Bujo nonyo omuntu ankwatira moyo omusajja simanya njala kagwa Simon. Oba ina frustration zaaki oba kyekimuluma ku bwongo omusajja abantu tebaagala Nuupu tebaagaliza Nuupu bawalana Nuupu bavuma Nuupu bawaayiriza Nuupu buli wabeera omwaka kubeerako Nuupu. Abasajja bagambye tulina ekizibu kya kujjawo Gen. Museveni eggwanga lyaffe bbi enguudo nfu abantu tebalina butale ne mu program ky'okuteesa ku mbeera eri mu ggwanga embi bateesa nga ku Nuupu okuwa kaadi osooka kuwaayo kya Julayina osooka kuwaayo nguzi byokka bibateesaako ne babiteeka kufuluma mu Monday to Monday omwezi ne gugwako nga bateesa ku kintu eki nga twali kintu nakimu kibakyusa nogamba abantu lwaki bateesa ku kino kyokka omusajja akibabuuzizza naye era kibalemi era ne bakiddamu kubanga baagala okupaintinga Nuupu ekigundi ekikala ekibi mbu mu Nuupu mulimu okugaba ekya Julayina mugyeyo obujulizi mbu mwateekawo akakiiko nga munoonyeza kubagaba Julayina n'abagulira enguzi naye alipoota eriwa abo abawaayo abeekubirayo enduulu be bannannyini kufuna lipooti bwe bawulira nga lipooti yabwe tefulumanga bakwata obujulizi obwo baweeri babutwale mu kkooti bawabire ababasaba ekya Julayina n'ababalyako enguzi simple n'abasajja balimedde ku Nuupu kubanga Nuupu bagiwalana yabafuula jobless.
We held that more like an alternative. Are they trapped by the same FDC that affected DP and other parties? And do they seem to be actually working towards correction?
The propriety of political parties is also not guaranteed that it will be forever. I was with Kivumbi in Makere in 1996. That time the main opposition personality was Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogerere. DP, but he worked with everybody. So he played his part, and there came in Dr. Vesije, Chagulanyi also came. I don't want to measure the weight of political party on how best they have managed themselves. You can actually manage your party better but lose popularity. People who went to support NUP did not even know how it is going to be managed. I don't think that's what attracted them to support that party. If you speak to Muwanga Kivumbi, he will tell you that people went to support Dr. SJ were your DP supporters. They are not DP supporters. They are not NUP supporters. Because we were asking that question earlier. Did you see the NUP supporters also shift?
In mass.
They are not your supporters. They are not FD supporters. They are Ugandans who are pursuing change. If you give them the best opportunity to achieve it, they will follow you. If a person emerges next week and he represents that best opportunity to remove Museveni, even if all of you stay in NUP, including the councillors who have gone to FDC, they will leave you the same way they left FDC, left DP, and left everybody. They are not your supporters. Yes. I told him David Andesari at the beginning of his party invited me to speak to his party. They had wanted me to join. And I told him Uganda is in a very difficult position where every election is a referendum. A referendum on Museveni. And in a referendum, there are usually two sides. So you cannot establish a third one. So people... Why did you establish this PFF, which is in the Credit Party there? PFF has a...
It was going to be a two-horse.
PFF has objectives that are short-term and long-term. We might go into this election, we have said this many times, even when you defeat Museveni, he will cheat you. So if you are a short-term objective person, then you will go home and sleep. That's why Ssemuju, when they lost, they went to Kawus to cry. And they said they will never participate in election. Oh, please don't judge us the same way. For us, our objective, first of all, we want to participate in this process, or we want to aid them. We don't have to be the one driving them or phone upon. Muwanga Kivumbi was DP when he was supporting Dr. Vesiki. I have gone, we've been to many constituencies, of DP before, they have been to our constituencies. And that's why for me, I'm not emotional about a political party. So even if you come here to rubbish PFF, I don't lose sleep. Because PFF is just any other vehicle to aid the process. They can be more than one. When Museveni was in Nuweru fighting, there are other fighting groups. Moses Sari was in Western Nile, there was in Kwangahi, and so on. So don't bastardize.
You're coming off as scavengers now, wanting to crush the National Inter-Platform by poaching all their members.
First of all, you are using your choice of words. I don't understand it. if there is an internal process in a NOP, and some people think it is unfair, or they think that the opportunity for them to access a political office has gone to someone else, and then they go to pursue it in a different... We are not poaching. We've presented ourselves, but there are also people who have left us and joined the NUP. I have two MPs.
This kind of rivalry, is it healthy competition?
It is no more. I don't lose sleep because someone has left. I was with two MPs when we were starting PFF in Jinja. Both of them went to join Muwanga Kivumbi. I don't think he poached them, but they thought the NUP was giving them the best opportunity to go and join the parliament. I don't begrudge them. In fact, for me, if people keep moving from parties to opposition parties, I don't feel bad. I feel very bad if they have joined NRM. These is scavengers. Because I know I'll have...
You are the one who said choice of
I know I will have lost them. But if colleagues abandon me and they think I'm not offering...
I have never bothered to try to convince this man to join NRM. Because I'm sure he wants to give us any
value.
So can I complete? You see, a person leaving NUP to join PFF or vice versa, for me is not a loss. The loss is someone who has run mad and has joined the NRM. The point of
are you saying
the point
but in politics, it's what we call keep them busy, take them nowhere. You are busy, there is a lot of political activity taking place, but we are not making any headway as people who are aspiring for change.
I agree with you, because part of the challenges we face as political parties in Uganda, that all of you running political parties are also candidates in the next election. I was in Ghana when someone resigned as a member of parliament to go and become Secretary General of a political party. I mean, even then, when I have been a journalist here covering elections, when campaigns are ongoing, there was time when they were pleading with people to go and sit at their headquarters, mass as they flee. So you visit our headquarters during campaign, you may find nobody there, everybody from the president has gone. So
There's a huge group, about 10 of them, we told them.
That's a new development.
Don't go for elections, you're going to run the party activities.
That's a new development.
And NRM has never been vacant because in all our past 4 elections, Chairman Chigongo has been the chairman of water sports. I have been the spokesperson. I'd never run for office. When I was in that party at Plot 10, I never ran for office.
Do you think?
So,
do you think
there is no poaching? We
and
have
and there are no scavengers also.
In NRM there are scavengers.
No.
So the movements in the video or groups of people, they may legitimately be running away from unfair internal party processes. And we have a duty as managers of these parties to improve our own processes. You cannot be criticizing NRM for their mistakes and then you cover up yours. Then you will be pretender.
Thank you. Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi, how complex does your relationship become with COMITED?
Ono lwaki Ssemuju Nganda bamala okwogerezako Muwanga Kivumbi? Lwaki Muwanga Kivumbi bamala okwogerezako Ssemuju Nganda? Kubanga ayagala ateekewo crash. Okitegedde? Baagala bateekewo crash bafuule Ssemuju Nganda relevant. Ate NUP wa Muwanga Kivumbi bamufuule mayo bamufuule ekitagase ekintuntu bagenza mbalaba abanup. Alinga afiweringa olutalo wakati waabwo n'olutagasa lutalina makulu bo basobola okufuna storage baridingirako bagambe opposition kati erwanagana yavudde ku byokulwana okujja ku Museveni kati beerwana PPF erwana ne NUP nenga tewali wadde gulevi n'omu NUP okulwana ne PPF okitegedde tewali bo wadde omusingi n'ogumu NUP oyinza okusinzira erwana ne PPF tewali n'akanaku n'akamu ne bano banga ya agenda gye babadde okukola okutambulirako okujja bannayuganda ku magazima okujja bannayuganda ku bintu ebirimu amakulu babazze ku bitalina makulu kibatambulirako tulabye nno
PFF and others who are now poaching from your camp.
Actually, you see, poaching, I keep saying, for me, the movement of the elite doesn't worry me.
These are elites.
Yeah, these are elites. Yeah, the organization of doesn't bother me. I look at the movement of the tectonic plates. Are they a ground movement on ground that is shifting?
Is Madada among the elites?
No, what I'm saying, of course. Who is an elite? An elite doesn't mean someone with a degree or a professor.
But Madada is a
village, they are elites or villagers.
Madada is a representation of
what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying. Even when she's a foot soldier, she's an elite in a foot soldier. Okay, so understand. Class 1. So Madada is not your ordinary foot soldier. Madada, by the way, has been an actor. She has been in FDC. She was there, cadre. Moved in here. We know who these people are, where they've come from. So she's not your ordinary actor. So she's an elite. The worry, as Honorable Ssemuju put it, at the back of the people is they want to see us being efficient, having a special purpose vehicle, one, to convey their issues. Even if you don't remove Museveni, to make sure that their issues are brought to the table. And what hurts me, and where you are doing a disfavor, is that this time, 4 months to an election, the entire discussion is on which egg has broken, on which tray, not the nature of the eggs you have. So that's the discussion.
So you
that's why I've said, I told you at the beginning, that this discussion and most of electoral processes are subversive to the common man's cause. Because as Ssemuju has told you, the people of Uganda today, we've seen it. At one time they were with the Seya. They moved with whoever. They moved with whoever. So at every time, they will follow a particular represents the best chance on taking on Museveni. If it is Akena here, they will support him. If it is Yunjara, they will support you. They are that generous.
Do you want to suggest that?
That's why I ask you a fundamental question. That it's not in your interest as Simon Yunjara to puncture as a semblance of being effective. No, he says ratify the mistakes. Ratify the mistakes.
He's contradicting himself. At one point he says that the elites can move and the ground doesn't move. And then then he moves very fast and he tells you people have been moving with the elites.
No. Understand.
He himself moved when he moved.
Mutambala shifted.
Yes, Mutambala shifted and went.
No, understand me. Understand. This is where me and Ssemuju agree. Is that the people of Uganda, on their, and you spoke about it, they want a better run country. They are tired of Museveni. They think he has failed them. And he thinks today they are in imposition. The NRM today, or to the people of Uganda, they are in an imposition by virtue of either having a monopoly of forces of coercion.
I just want to tell our viewers that we are now switching to Afro Mobile.
And their chance to go to our consolidated fund. So they use those two vintage and run the state infrastructure to impose themselves on the people of Uganda. Even if they legitimize that through a semblance of an election. But the fact is that you are using coercion, you are using a consolidated fund, because here can tell you, all those people he says, they have been told, don't run, you run a secretariat. They're going to be put on the same salary as ministers, from which whose money. That's why today, all knows, we have a 4 trillion classified budget. And this year it's going to be 6, this financial year, because there is an election. I can even tell you they have overdrawn. Even as we speak now, because we are entering an election, they are already having an overdraft of a bank to run. Now, if you have this kind of a regime that this has this access to our nation, scavenging on our national resources. No, we are not legitimizing a facade, but also let me ask you, what option do you have? For all of us, be like you, become analysts.
Yes,
No. You want us to be like you,
fine. Honorable Muwanga, it's almost time.
When we ask Muwanga Kivumbi about allegations of bribery, sex, and so on in Nup, he says, you prove it. For NRM, he picks and he says, you have overdrawn, you have raided the consulate. Can you prove it?
Yeah, you know. Take me, I will prove you.
You, to take your word, you.
He has been a shadow.
On those matters, I'm one
You have been a shadow minister for defense.
Table the evidence here. Table the evidence here that NRM has raided.
Yes. Tell me, where did you get the money for sponsoring your conferences? No. Tell Uganda, you have been a spokesperson. Do you know how much money you spent?
First of all.
Do you know how much money you spent? Tell us whether you did any fundraising to raise that money.
When we do fundraising,
no, I'm asking you, where did you get the money to sponsor this Nambola affair and in Korolo? On which account?
Okay, Muwanga, let him respond.
When we fundraise,
tell us your source of funding.
When we fundraise, must you come to here and tell you that this way we have fundraised? That's true, and most important.
But you're public institution.
I am even surprised that Muwanga, who's a member of parliament, so-called shadow cabinet, whatever finance, doesn't know that the government of Uganda, through a law, through the Ministry of Finance and the Electoral Commission, gives NRM money and the other political parties represented. You know how much that money is. Assuming you are financially literate and intelligent, you can keep that money, you can accumulate it, and you run a bigger thing like that conference we had. But also, NRM is not new in government. NRM was, before government, NRM was somewhere. Did they used to fundraise?
So where did you get the money?
No, but the OO is also misleading. Where was the NRM before government?
NRM,
where was it?
You don't know that there was NRA, there was NRA?
The NRA was a ragtag army in the bush. It was not anywhere accessing resources. They were robbing banks.
You don't know. I'm asking you.
They were robbing banks.
Now you take it from me. They take it from me. They might have robbed the banks, might have taken the profit, but they also fundraise. And I can tell you, NRM has international sponsors legitimately. NRM does fundraising here. We don't have to go and announce in the public that you're doing fundraising.
But they're not required
what happened to the money which they fundraised for the NRM?
Let's allow O to make a point in a couple of minutes, then I'll get to Jimmy and finally Ssemuju.
Anyway, the point I'm saying is, NRM was there before being in the government. NRM, NRA, they fundraise the resources, including money, to prosecute that war. 2, NRM has been raising money internally because NRM has the largest membership, probably even the richest membership.
The only reason she doesn't live in
not, you will see him. Even where he's not interfering, you will see him. You must have your own.
The reason Kadaga cries at call is not because they agree. The only reason she doesn't live in NRM is because they all want to parasite around the state. What bothers me as what bothers me as a Ugandan and should bother everybody is that we've been ushered into a family military rule. All the state institutions have been appropriated. They are now under the direct control of Museveni, and because he's of old age, his son by extension. I was in Mitiana to open an office, and they swear in new leaders of PFF who were tear gassed on a very simple civic exercise. We were even running away to come to radio stations. Yesterday I told the Parliament I was in Muwanga to open, to speak to my constituents who had invited me to open their office. Police confiscated the tents and chairs, and they said you are supposed to be in a hall, not in open space. I have seen the draconian regulations the Electoral Commission is issuing during this electoral period, and then immediately they issue them, police is amplifying them. We are prepared each election cycle that first thing you prepare, you're going to be beaten, you're going to be arrested, they're going to kill people. So these stories of people who are abandoning parties and joining others, you're going to you'll forget them tomorrow when they begin corroborating people with the military that they have deployed everywhere. I'm saying at one time said the military must be in barracks. Now it is on the street. It is behind our houses. So those are the things that should bother everybody, including Ofono Pondo, who works in this government, that we're going to an election.
He's retired.
We're going to an election in which our hands. I am paid to oppose government.
Yeah, you are working in it. You are working in it. You are working in it.
Okay, I mean if that pleases.
You are working in one branch of government.
If that pleases,
but that branch belongs to the people of Uganda. It's National Assembly. It's not NRM.
No, I have said.
It's National Assembly of Uganda. NRM will go. It will still be there. Whichever party comes, it will be there.
What you have said is okay. I want to hear you speak about the militarism, the beating of people, the shooting Dr. Messages in Iruzira for 8 months. That day you abducted some Mugumia. So we're not sure they will reach home. So that's where we are now. The days of UPC. When they were killing people and abducting them. So please take it.
What a show. Thank you very much, Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi, Honorable Akena, what a pleasure. Leonard Gesao, good to have you. And Honorable Ssemuju Nganda. Have a lovely night. Frontline will be back on Thursday next week. Good night.
Kale, obiwulidde bulungi. Tulina Muwanga Kivumbi mwali anteredde Ssemuju Nganda mu kifo wabadde agwanira okubeera. Ssemuju n'ateera mu katebe n'ayesigama n'abuguma n'ayimukayo naye nga talaba kyakuzzaako okujjawo okutandika okuvoola Nuupu. N'atugjayo kale entuufu n'alwagana nti tebaagalirako kigambo kye bayita Nuupu kubanga kibafuula jobless. Okitegedde kati olwo ntegedde nti bano bannayafuzi abakadde abaaliwo baali mu kiwaanyi baali batulimba. Nuupu yabafuukira ekizibu yabafuukira ekirwadde buli babeera bagugumuka Nuupu baloota Nuupu boogera ku Nuupu bawulira bafa batera konja balalwa Nuupu kubanga yabalabisa netwagala true faces netwagala abatuufu abantu abaaliwo nti bonna baali baffere kati bonna bajja kuzza embooko bazisabula Nuupu naye Muwanga Kivumbi anteredde Ssemuju Nganda waaja ne ngamba omumaze taliddamu kwerigira ku Nuupu bamutadde mu kifo wagwanira okutuula wali wennyini akatebe n'akkakkana tazeemu kwogera musajja watu bazeemu okwogera abadde nga kkakkanye nga takyayogera kigambo Nuupu mu kamwa ke ne ngamba Muwanga osabula ddadi osabudde bulungi koonera ddala